The biggest enemy for a creator is the video that is not posted yet.
What parts of yourself have you seen grow? Do you have mentors?
Mentors?
Yeah.
The chappies or what?
Zile.
No, I thought maybe like a gum.
Zile unyaka therapy okay.
I'm at 350.
We're not just sitting and talking about anything. We're literally talking about the current affairs that the young people in this day and age are going through and they're conversing about.
I feel like once you experience being in a dark place, once you come to the light, you'll never want to go back.
Hello, Resonate community, and welcome to the best and the biggest sales and entrepreneurship podcast in the whole wide world. My guest today is somebody that I've known for a couple of years now, and I am in awe and so proud of what he's accomplished over the years. Yes. He is a comedian, a well-known podcaster, a TikToker, a content creator, an aspiring businessman. And for today's episode, I really want to get into his journey and to fully talk about some of the things he's learned along the way. Because if you've seen him grow over the years, you would know that it takes a level of resilience and strategy to attain that kind of success that he enjoys right now. So we have Zile Weezy, everybody.
Hey man, I feel like I'm at like a corporate. I'm at an interview today. It's not my usual work. Everything is serious. They don't offer me shots. They offer me coffee.
But offer any shots?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, okay. We do. Like we are sponsored by an alcohol thing. Yeah,
and your boss has a gin.
Oh, you see?
So tricky.
So today I'm corporate. I was supposed to wear a suit. Eh?
Yes.
And a
tie. And a tie and everything.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
But thank you so much for coming, Zila. I appreciate you making the time.
Man.
We have a fire round of questions on the podcast to get to just, kind of know you a little bit better. And my first question to you that I want to find out is, if your life right now was a song, what would it be and why?
I'm joking. But I'm joking. Before we start, I just want to do my intro. Like, it makes me ease my mind. Okay. Hey, what up, boys? Doing it. I don't know if I should say it.
Eh?
Should I say it? Yeah.
Hey.
We don't say that.
No.
Are you gonna beep it?
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
okay. Hey, what up, boys? Doing it. And dango.
That's a nice intro.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Resonate podcast.
Thank you so much, man.
I'm so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's been, I don't know what they say in English, whereby it was about time.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you were overdue to come to the podcast, even from the time I started this podcast in my garage.
Right. 3 years back, I think we were in Cape Town when we spoke about this.
Yes, I remember, and I hadn't started at the time.
Yeah. But like, to be fair and honest, I don't know. I feel like, to answer your question, the song, I don't know, man. It has to be a Lokompo song. Oh, you see the song called The Chopper. So basically they say, whenever we reach Milao, basically the song means they've put traps down on the floor for us so that we can fail, but God made us choppers and we are flying.
Come on.
So that,
it's the song I've seen people like dance around on TikTok
for. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's such a nice song. So
that's what it means.
Okay, sure. That is very interesting. What's the first thing you look forward to every morning?
New work, man.
Yeah?
Like new work. Like every time, the main thing that I do the whole day is like, I refresh my emails every day. Because I'm like, whatever I got yesterday is done. I've already got it. Whatever work I got yesterday is done. I'm looking forward to like new work. You get me? So for me, it's like, even my girlfriend knows what you email is saying something and over something. As long as it's new work, if not new work, I'll just distract myself by doing TikToks.
Yes.
Or like new ideas.
Creating content.
Basically.
Yeah. Interesting. So your journey has been so inspirational, and I think just watching over the years, you and I met in Cape Town. We're part of YouTube Black.
Yeah.
Over the years. And that's when I found out about you guys. And I remember thinking to myself, these young guys were ras.
There's a lot, yeah, I remember I was very with who Tato Rampedi, I think Rage, but I was the main person more Ras.
Yes,
And truly.
yeah, and I think it was you guys, the new age
Yeah.
content creators. Then it was like me, Bonnie Colette, and the rest of the
Yeah.
guys. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you guys are so energetic.
Yes.
I think forget to Ras. I think energetic is like the thing.
Like
that,
chill, because we're trying to know what something like in order. We are like, hey man, let's rock, guys.
yes.
Yeah.
I remember the first few days was a bit interesting, and then over time, we just like enjoyed spending time with you guys, Lou
Yeah.
and Reggie, because it was just
New energy.
yeah, it was just so beautiful. And I think, I mean, at the time you were doing a bit of TikTok, but mostly like YouTube
Yeah.
content, and just seeing how you've grown over the years.
Yeah.
Zile Ujedi podcast.
Hey man. That thing, for me, I never thought I would do something like that.
Yeah.
But wake me up at 3 o'clock. Through.
Yeah.
I'll just ask to wash my teeth and my face, and I'll rock a podcast.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's like in the blood.
Yeah. How did that opportunity come?
So what had happened is that like I was trying to do a collaboration with Pop Pops
Mhm.
and Robot Boy, ne? But I didn't know underground they were working on the new podcast, which is
Nice.
Spreading Humors. They used, I think the first name was Gen Z. So what had happened is that like names were brought out of we are trying to like make a Gen Z podcast. Who do you think? They threw out names. I think Yanda and Sima, their spot has already been secured, but they said they wanted a guy. So it was me, this other guy, these other two guys. There's a studio at Rosebank, I think next to
Is it the vodcast?
Yeah, vodcast. Yeah, I
By
think,
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So we went there. The first guy did an audition, and whatever it went, however it went. Then I came. So what they did in that audition was like, we see how we sit normally on the podcast.
Yes.
So basically, it's like I remember it was around the time of threats. You remember the epic threats?
Yes.
So they gave us topics. They're like, yo, Sima, you're the host. Yanda, you're the co-host. Zile, you're the co-host. So you guys are gonna topic. Hey, you guys, 1, 2, 3. Hey, you 1, 2, 3. Yeah, man. So what do you think? We bounce off things. Then immediately when we started talking, I think I knew by the time I went out of the door, nah, I got this. But I was like, let me not get over myself. I remember because the studio, it works in a way where they can see at the back. So I remember they were like, don't you want to watch how you did? I'm like, doesn't matter. I left. Then later that night, they called me. They're like, yo, congratulations, you're part of it. And then there you have it. We are doing like national tours.
I saw that, and oh my gosh, like I was saying this to you. Every time I see a piece of work, I feel like a proud parent. I'm just like, oh my goodness, because I think I've had the privilege and the honor to have a look at the journey throughout the years, and it's like there's so much growth now, even in the way that you handle conversations, which I think is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
So you get and you start doing this podcast. What parts of yourself have you seen grow as you like have received and just been thriving in this opportunity?
So number one thing that like the main thing that I got, me personally, I got to realize how females work and think in a way. So like it's not even in a working environment, but it's like also in a like how girls get easily you guys snap it over anything. No, I'm hungry. But come on, man, we came here to work. So those things before I was like, no, why, bro? I'm also hungry. But I got to realize, no, this is how females work and everything. And also, I realized the power of having what you can, like what you say, like when you have a big platform, like that thing as Spider-Man, or with great power comes great responsibility. I saw it happen, or I can just, there's a certain way I need to move, there's a certain things I need to do and say based off the attention that I'm getting. So it basically made me to be like, be careful of the attention that you're getting and how you use it. So that's the main thing that... What
parts of yourself have you seen grow? Because, I mean, with the amount of attention that you guys are getting, it can be easy to do things differently.
Yeah.
To do things, the wrong way, to say. And I like the fact that you say that you are very conscious about using it towards the right direction and creating some form of positive change. And I'm interested in this thing out of how women think, Is it more from like, now you understand, or you just realize that that's just how women are built from your experience?
So it's like, here's the thing. I realize, or that's how like women think, and that's how it is for, like we see the world in a very different light. I
Yeah.
thought we are all, when I started, I'm like, guys, come on. When we have to do something, we have to do something. But
Yeah.
it made me realize, you know what? Women are actually going through a lot, number one. And there's a lot of things that they can easily get bullied also. How I realized, because some people will tell you, yo, I got a call from mama. They said, I'm like, why is this guy not saying this to me?
Yeah.
Why is this guy saying this to you? And it made me realize those type of things,
Yeah.
And I feel like we should also share more light to that. Like a lot of gents need to be actually educated. We think we know, but we don't know a lot of things about women as we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it make you maybe realize the need to protect the woman in your life that you care about a lot more?
For sure.
Or like it can no longer just be face value, but you have to be now intentional about the relationships you have with the women in your life.
Yeah.
Sure, that's powerful. You are essentially building a brand, which in this day and age is a business.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And I remember when you were creating your own content, only one, because you take your own content, you'd post it out. You're fine. Nobody has to tell you what to do. Nobody has to direct. It's your own little thing. What have you learned in a dynamic way? Number one, you're working with the team, but also number two, you are having to report to a certain structure within a business.
So here's the thing. One thing, I have my personal long, my word goes, basically. So I'm a person of now I think, guys, you know what? I feel like what would be better is let's do this podcast outside. So let's do this podcast. If the camera guy or the producer or the editor says, I have a problem, I'm going to be like, okay, how do we solve that? All I need to do is to make sure that like I put this podcast outside and put a paper, we sit down, we're like, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm a person no longer, I have to also think or other people's opinions matter. So being in a team made me realize, chief, just listen to what other people say actually. And that made me grow, shit. Actually, I can't move like this.
Yeah.
I have to like also put the idea down to the table. Let's divide and let's see how it goes. So I used to, if I think of that's how I don't have drafts on TikTok. Every idea goes. If the money is there, we are shooting that thing tomorrow. If I want to get something, I'm getting it. That's how I do my own things, or it's now or never.
Yeah.
But now when you're in a team whereby you have to tell someone, it's a thing of like, it might be now or never, but don't you think maybe, even though sometimes you fight, but yeah. Because I remember when I was doing my song, when I did my second song, we were chilling like this, and I told my other manager, I'm like, yo, chief, wouldn't it be better if we'd make a song? Like we created a studio. I remember Yanda was sitting here and the manager, it's like, you guys are like joke. Next week, everything was already there. We did the song. So that's how I do things. But sometimes if you have someone to say, maybe it's not the right call.
Yeah. And I think that's an important skill because even as your brand grows, like you say, you will hire different people within your brand. And when you hire them, you must also want to hear what they say.
Yeah.
Eskaba wena fela, that's like giving all the direction.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're underutilizing the people that are around you, which is a very interesting point. Talk to me about conflict resolution. I mean, in any team, marriage, jolo, whatever it is, everybody is, we know that we won't always see eye to eye because I want to do it a certain way. The other person also thinks it's a certain way. What have you learned in terms of just being able to resolve conflict in a way to move the vision forward? The vision is we need to record today, or the vision is we need to deliver to a client, or we need to do our jobs. What have you learned are maybe the best ways to handle conflict?
So number one, it used to get to me. Like, I'm a very emotional person. So if something doesn't go, come home, I don't understand. So one thing I like, you have to tell me, yo, Zile, when you get here, you're going to do a podcast for 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Yeah.
But when I get here, we are doing something. I'm even emceeing. I'm even doing black films. I'm even like telling people to come in. I'm telling people, and it's even 2 hours. That was not aligned to me.
Yeah.
But as time goes, I remember Vanessa told me, it's like, Chief, sometimes when you agree to this, even though it's not on paper, especially like, for example, MCing. So with MCing, I'll be like, okay, guys, what am I going to do today? They'll tell you 1, 2, 3, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Jiggy, they tell you, Hoshia Kai has come, please announce. I didn't come here to announce a kingdom, happy birthday to mama. That's not part of my thing.
Yeah.
But I remember she was telling me, once you say your account like an MCing thing, it happens and just align to that. So when it comes to like things, conflict for me, that thing used to make me fight with people.
I see.
But now it's like, no, not, we are here to work. Until we say it's done, it's done.
Or be flexible with your work.
Yes. And when it comes to like at work, it's like, it's very difficult for us sometimes to separate personal issues from work issues because of the type of environment that we have, So what we'll do is that, like, if it's a thing, some problems need to be, one thing I learned is that some problems don't need to be like solved in front of the camera.
Yes.
One thing that I learned is that, like, some things we can just resolve them off cam and go back and still work, And it's always healthy and great to always strive to build a healthy environment, a working environment.
Yeah.
So I'll always use whatever in my power or say whatever in my power to make sure that the environment that I work in emotionally is okay.
Yeah.
So let's say if I have a problem with you, I will strive to make sure, you know what, I have to take this across the table. Let's meet and see, or can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Holding things in makes things way difficult for me. Like, I can't work, it's about email like something.
Yeah.
We have to solve it. So yeah.
I love that so much because I think a lot of people don't realize that growth is built with flexibility and just your ability to think on your feet and not take everything personally, you know, because now you feel like, bantraela, they take me for granted, they don't respect me as a creative. It's like, no, it's work.
Yeah.
It's an extra thing. Please, can you just do it? And we keep it moving.
Yes.
And that is just so powerful to learn. And I mean, I see, from what you're also saying, I'm also hearing that you and the girls are growing together within your teamwork and being able to cooperate. So, Zila 3 years ago, right? Made money a little less than what Zila makes now.
Yeah.
What has been your money mindset like? And how are you dealing with that?
So I'm from a very, and I know a lot of people might relate. I'm from a very broke place, you know.
Zile, what's a very broke place?
Like financial, guys. we all been broke, man.
Yes, I'm also from a very broke place.
That's why I said a lot of people will relate. I was talking about you.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So
got you.
So here's the thing. Me, from a young age, I was always like, I'm not from like the world. You know what? I hated that I'm one of the. Don't you like hate the fact that you're part of the group? You're never so called like that's so nice.
Rio, it's like nekisna solo so nekisna phone nekisna.
We are two men in that group, man. That bus is full. I want to be like, no, I can leave this thing now. You know?
Come on.
Yeah, like my father. I've never said I'm broke, guys. You know?
And I don't need this.
Yeah, I know. No, I have to have a sad story. Unfortunately, it's following me. But yes, I do have it. But I was from like a family whereby I would stay with my granny, my mom would go to work and stuff like that. So I was a business-minded person from the get-go. Like, it's within my blood. I was selling sweets in grade 5. I was selling mavilo, mangoes. I remember this one time I couldn't read. I don't know which grade it was. And this other guy at the back said, hey, saiki mavilo. Like saying, oh, yeah, saiki business. Like, he likes selling things. And when I grew like with like saving. I remember when I was young, I enjoyed having money than spending money. Like the fact that I can say I have 10 rands.
Yeah.
For me, that I felt like I've already spent it.
The
idea of just having money, and I can see it even now, is that like, number one, I'm not really a fleshy person.
Yeah.
So that is easy. And also the environment the people that I associate myself with are like very normal people, you know?
Yeah.
And also like last year, I built my mom like a house from scratch. I was like, you know what?
Beautiful.
Let me give something to my mom based off the money that I've made for now. And I know the type of things that I want for myself.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very important that the type of work that we do right now, we had a conversation before we shot, or it's very important that we understand, or we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? And unfortunately, when I make financial decisions, I always keep that in mind. Or, you know what? I can't just do this knowing very well where I come from, and I don't want to go back, you know? So financially, it's a thing of, I'm a bit cautious. about it. And I'm I'm one of those guys, ish. You can't put my bank balance here in my face yet.
So, and that's why I'm asking you, because I'm always thinking, Zile agaraka Benz as a and you just bump into him on the road, like, dude. Is this intentional in the sense that you don't want to, or is it more like it's sacred to you and you want to just keep this part of your life to yourself because you know how much it means to you?
I mean, some parts are like that, eh? Some of the parts, it's like, man, I just don't want you guys to see me in anyhow. There will be signs.
Yes.
There will be signs here and there. I will just throw a bit of a designerish but I wouldn't come to you guys and say, this is what. Unless you chill with me and you realize on my
Yeah.
But I want to keep that side of, and maybe, unfortunately, the truth is, Limpopo sometimes that also applies.
For people who don't understand what that means, what are you saying?
So basically, where we come from is like, there's a lot of jealousy, man. Like, people always forget. When we get to Josie, we always forget. Or I can see, and here's the thing, we don't control those things. I can see a Golf 7 right now. I know I can afford it. I know I can buy it now. But once you think, high, that's another thing. Growing up in that environment also tempers with how you show people how wealthy or how financially fit you are. In a way. Like, it's like, now go to a petty person or someone from Limpopo and be like, oh, can I ask, you working? Yes. How much do you earn? How many out of 10 people in the room, how many are going to tell you this is how much I earn? Even look at my balance. No one is going to show you that. But chill with our white folks. I remember I was in a flight or at a hotel. These people, they were talking about, I make 30K, 1, 2, 3. No, I was getting, like, these people can talk about their salaries like this. Now, if I bring a salary conversation here now, it's going to be awkward. Hey, why you go say? No, and maybe sometimes that also resonates. Like, that also comes from to me in terms of my financial stance. Yeah.
That brings so much clarity, because I think a lot of Black people go through that. It's the idea or the perception around where people come from and what is associated with there, and potentially African magic, things like that people do think of. So I can totally understand where that kind of conservativeness comes in terms of your money. Are you cold? Oh, okay. Later.
No, I'm chilling.
Okay. So that's very interesting. So your money mindset now has to change, because there's a lot of young people like you who are from similar places but would do things differently. Tomorrow, we were going to all see it, and I think also there's this thing, the story, like, I come from humble beginnings and look what I've done.
Yeah.
And do you ever feel the pressure or the need to do that?
Nah. I could have swallowed me a long time ago. Nah. I just do things for me, bro. Like, I just do things for like for me. Is this gonna make me happy now?
Yeah.
And my content will also show you, because like, I could have came here and be like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? I could have stopped speaking Spedi a long time ago. I could have been like a yo-yo. I could have been like a cheese boy.
Twang, dread, mohawk.
Yes, it's very easy to fake your lifestyle these days, Yeah. But I always make sure that I stick to my thing, my roots, and I do what makes me happy.
Yeah. We're in South Africa where there's a lot of unemployment for young people. And I think maybe some of us, and a lot of people will relate to this, that we are, could potentially be a result of unemployment. And that's how we ended up creating content or being online and trying to build something out of ourselves based on the underprivileged areas that we come from. I am curious to know, you guys are also doing a lot of tours and you speak to a lot of young people. I'm sure how Molong people are just like, Zile, and you get into these conversations. I'm curious to know, what do you think about I won't say potentially the state of youth employment, but how can young people lift themselves up? I speak to, for instance, in our case, I speak to a lot of young people that are saying, for instance, Kenya Kotoma this thing, or I started doing this thing. I want to create content, but I'm scared, or I don't know if, obviously social media has grown now and it can be a bit ruthless sometimes, but I would like them to also just hear from a young person as well, from you, Jorge. If a friend was coming to you and saying, Zile, this is what I want to do, or Zile, I'm stuck and I feel like I need to do this, what would you say to them to get on the other side of potentially enjoying what they see you enjoying at the moment?
I'm going to be very honest. I remember before I went to Limpopo this Friday, I was shooting a podcast with the major states. So when I got inside that room, the whole production team, including the host, it was only young people. I remember telling them, all of them, I'm like, you guys should be proud of yourself. I've been in this industry for 10 years. I've been yes. And I'm like, young people are actually the people to do it.
Yes.
Yeah? Everywhere these days, you just try to check how many young people are there. Prior that, when I was shooting, was young. Before I went to that podcast, we had a lot of young people from the celebrities that came there. And now, funny enough, we are speaking about youth month coming through.
Yes, yeah.
All I want to say is that, unfortunately, now it's up to you.
Yeah.
It's mainly up to you. The opportunity is there. Bro, someone can make money right now by just saying, you know what, guys, I can please be your light person. Can I just come and have this? When I come out and they're like, networking is very easy this day.
Yes.
Accessibility is always there. There's a lot of events. Just know how to sell yourself. A lot of people struggle with knowing how to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Just hire me. Like,
that's not convincing.
Yeah. So once young people master the art of knowing how to sell themselves, and always try to sell yourself with one thing that it's your strongest pursuit. Like if now you tell me, Zile, I want you to do a podcast, it can be any podcast.
Yeah.
I know when I get there and you say, in the long run we'll do this, bro, I'm gonna kill that thing. Like I'm gonna kill that thing to a point where I sold myself. If I am essential, you guys will be like, are you guys gonna do you wanna come? I think I have energy. Knowing on how to sell yourself in any department is very important.
I speak to a lot of executives and business people that are much older.
Yeah.
And they seem to be a big complaint around young people in the sense that, yes, the opportunities for them are present, but they don't have a good work ethic.
For sure.
They're really difficult to work with compared to other people. And also because they haven't been in the corporate sector to kind of have a way of doing things. Is this something that you have faced? And is it something that you've had to... What inspires your work ethic? For you to work, is it a matter of where you come from and where you're trying to go? Or you've learned and picked up lessons from other people that you've been exposed to?
So... I would like to say, number one, it has to be other people. Hey, why would this person do this? Why would you do this at work? Why would you be late? We said we were doing a thing. Why would you cancel last minute like this? Number one. Number two, for me, I just don't like the idea of people saying bad things about me. So I used to be like very bad when it comes to time. But the reason I stopped was the fact that now, let's say I'm 2 hours late for this podcast, and I told you I didn't communicate.
Yes.
When I come, you have to apologize first. I'm apologizing to a person. They just work at reception. They don't even know why I'm there. I'm saying, sorry, I'm late. They'll be like, just go to room. That guilt came to me, and the fact that we work with our faces.
Yes.
So I work with my face, basically. My CV is my face. My CV is my attitude. My CV is how I carry myself. My CV is how I greet people. My CV is how I move, And once I realized that, it's like every day it's like I'm at work. So if I keep a good work ethic, that contributes to like my CV. People will be like, it's easy for you to speak about me.
Yes.
Imagine like Cape Town could have been a different way if I was always drunk, for example. or I was disrespectful towards other creators, or I was just alone. It could have that mentality could have been with you every time they say my name, like what so, and now it's very disrespectful, you know, or 1, 2, 3. But I was not at work. We were literally at a vacation, basically. But now I sold myself to a point where you said, no, come to my podcast. But let it be if I was rude, even though I'm doing greater things. But the fact that you didn't experience me well, even though we were not in a working environment, that still sticks to you.
Sure.
So keeping a good image at all times is very important. And that's what inspires my work ethic. And in terms of other people, so here's the thing. Gen Zs, we have a different energy. Like, we do have a different energy. And most people feel like, or we haven't experienced like the opportunity.
Oppression.
Yes, we haven't experienced opportunities being taken away from us. So most people feel like, or nah, I deserve this. And yes, I have a master's, I have a degree. I have followers, you know. I've worked for this, so why would I come here and follow you guys' instructions? Just because. So a lot of people have that mentality because of things are still good. I feel like once you experience being in a dark place, once you come to the light, you'll never want to go back.
You'll actually do whatever it takes to stay in that light.
Yes.
And continue moving forward. Do you think that people that aren't Gen Zs and like much older are a bit harder on Gen Zs because of the perception?
Yeah, for sure. Man, for sure. Well, we as pretty humans, we know it as our thing. But you find a kid somewhere, this is my therapy. You know, this has helped me a lot. And you find parents where, your podcast. Hey. But we are speaking about things that are really happening. The thing with Gen Zs and maybe older people, most of them struggle to not understand the fact that we can say whatever we want. Of which you guys, now me, I feel like I'm still gonna, like, I don't know if I should say, but I was talking to my kid about intimacy. But my mom never spoke about intimacy to me based off the household that we come from, a lot of us. Yeah. And don't forget, we have things like the internet. We know before we are supposed to even know. You get me? So we get exposed to a lot of information fast. And a lot of older people be like, me at this age, I was not even near this. I didn't even know this, you know? And it's like a culture shock for me.
Yes, absolutely. And for a lot of young people, it's the culture shock in, the things that we hear and the things that we see. But I love what you're saying, because that gives a different perspective to the kind of content that people have access to say that we're not just sitting and talking about anything. We're literally talking about the current affairs that the young people in this day and age are going through and they're conversing about. And when you even said that, the picture that's coming to mind is, when we were growing up, we obviously didn't have all these podcasts and this exposure, but we had circles of friends. And Loje, we used to talk about them in our small little circles and talk. And then some things you're like, maybe not talk about.
Let's not talk about that one.
But now we're in a day and age where everything is actually out in the open. And I think it gives a lot of older people a bit of anxiety.
Yes.
Because it's about too much.
Yeah, because another thing, so the first thing that happens is, like, if someone like your daughter or whatever, when they know something at a certain age, you immediately transfer yourself in, or what did I know at that age? You're like, if I knew this, if I experienced this. A lot of people, like 18, 20, are in apartments now. Are driving like supercars now.
Yes.
But when we track back to like olden ages, you will never find an 18-year-old I work at corporate. I have a salary. I have a thing.
No, we were talking about this with one of our podcast guests where we were laughing. Runa, especially when nobody 90, there was a season, I think around between 2010 and 2012, where there was this buzz on YouTube of like 21-year-old millionaires.
Yeah.
And that's when like the youngest millionaire would be like 21 years. And it would just be like, oh my God, I can't. Why? And now you look at people being 19 and being 20 and being multimillionaires and building so many brands. And I think there needs to be a mindset shift, maybe from our side as people that are, and maybe a lot more people older than us, and from a young people to say, maybe because times have changed and the exposure is there, let's choose what we are exposing our young people to.
Yeah.
Which is very, very key. I want to ask you a very controversial, a very interesting question, because I know that you work for a network that drives a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
Whether people like it or not, whether it's positive, that's their own situation. How do you deal with that?
I mean, like, life goes on, eh? To be quite fair, and I don't have it. But as long as it doesn't come to me directly, as long as it doesn't come to my back, what I said. For example, I remember I got a lot of, and I apologize. I still do apologize. I remember I got a lot of hate from people back at Bloemfontein, the ones who didn't even attend the live show. I said something like, "Yo, Bloemfontein has 2 malls, something like that. It's so small." Yo,
they came for you.
TikTok, yeah, flipper. When you check. But look, they are not even our market, you know.
I see.
So like older people, but people who were at the show, they were like, then it was done.
Yeah.
Agency people. And here's the thing, I didn't mean it in a malicious way, you know. But if it's done, it's done. Because here's the thing, the biggest enemy for a creator is the video that is not posted yet. The reason I'm saying that is because now if you have a video that is doing 1 million views right now, you're super happy. But here's the thing, is the one that you're going to post again going to do 1 million views?
Chances are no.
No, but let's say even if it, but you don't know the curiosity behind that.
Right.
My that's why I'm saying my biggest enemy is the video that I haven't posted.
Yeah.
Because that one I know, okay, it's doing bad or it's doing good. So whatever I said is done already. It's done.
So essentially what you're saying is put the work out there and you will get better. Next time you know not to talk about Bloemfontein having 2 malls, but it's because you said it in the first place for you to get that as a lesson.
Yeah. So for me, whatever, because here's the thing, it's very important to drive conversations.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you need conversation to be driven, but like sometimes you don't know how people are going to receive it.
That's true.
I can say something to you right now and the 4 of us, no one is going to react. Clean. We are out. I don't even say, please cut that part out. No. Because for me, for us, for this environment, it was nothing. We go to the internet, we drop it. Oh, my days.
And it becomes something else.
Oh, my days. Do you think when they did Latoya's life, they knew it was going to go? No. You don't know those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting. What are the things you think young people must be conscious about in Youth Month?
Oh, man. Like safety, number 1, I would like to say safety. I feel like safety is very important because I know a lot of young people, when it comes to like nightlife, a lot of them expose themselves towards those things, but they don't like adhere like to safetyness, you know. Number 2, mental health. The one important thing that a lot of us are facing right now is what's going on in here.
Yeah.
And especially to gents, but this is everyone, but especially to gents.
Yeah.
Please take note of your mental health. Try to come one-on-one with yourself. I feel like it's very important. I feel like as much as we do awareness to that, but mental health to everyone is very, very important, especially in the day and age that we are in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that the nightlife has a lot to do with how the state of their mental health is not or contributes rather, because there's a lot of things that people that contribute to people's mental health. It could be family, it could be upbringing, it could be traumas. But do you think the nightlife does contribute in one way or the other?
I mean, I don't know, eh? Like, I don't know. Because a person can be like, I'm just going there for fun. After 2 drinks, what's wrong? I've been going through a lot. So you'll never know. And some people, they go with you. You go with them. They drink, they're happy. Tomorrow, they wake up, they go to work, it's fine. So you'll never know. You know? I feel like it's a very complex thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also very important that people strike a balance with anything that they do, to not like overindulge or overdo it.
Yes.
And because then that becomes destructive for somebody who essentially wants to grow. You mentioned the second thing. The first one you said it's substance, it's alcohol, nightlife, and then you also then mentioned mental health. How are you taking care of your mental, or what are the things that you do, or daily, weekly practices to take care of mental health? Because let me say this, right? A lot of people know you to be a very funny person. You are hilarious without even trying.
Yeah.
In general, right? But behind that, there is a person.
Yeah, for sure.
Who has thoughts, feelings, and emotions. How do you deal with that? Do you ever feel the pressure to be funny in moments where you don't want to? Or you don't have the capacity to even be yourself in that moment?
That conversation, it's yo, man. It's like, I don't know. It's very difficult sometimes, you know. You can't even say you're going through something.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, to me. Because now I'm from a family where I don't know what I say jokes. It was fun, man. But some jokes like, now if you say you have anxiety, they're going to be doing jokes like, is it anxiety now? Or can you please go buy bread? Or depression, you know, we are from environments like that whereby you couldn't say, yo, I'm low. Like you'd be grateful for that.
Yeah.
So for some of us it's very difficult. Like to be honest, I find it very difficult to like say my emotional things or be vulnerable most of the time because of the type of character that I am. And that's why it's very important for me to know the people who I can be vulnerable to. Because it's not easy to make anyone to like drop the Zile is funny to like your Zile now is emotional and crying and stuff like that. So I just don't want to invest whereby I know I won't get the return.
That's true, yeah. Have you been to therapy?
No, I've never been to therapy.
Onyakowi.
How?
Why?
Yeah. Therapy.
Why don't you want to go?
How woman now, therapy problem like
trauma.
No, man. I feel like no, me chava therapy. I don't want to know.
Why?
No, because it's the fear of unknown.
But the unknown already lives in your head and in your subconscious.
Have you been to therapy?
Yes, I'm a constant therapy goer. I am going to therapy on Thursday. Yes, I go to therapy every week.
Tell me 2 questions that they ask you first time. No. I just want to know. Like what is it? Let's say you are the therapist next.
Yes.
Give me a question that you ask the therapist and answer.
Wait, so I'm the therapist?
Yeah.
Wait, now you're the person that came for therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to ask you a question that they ask you for the first time?
Yeah, tell me, what did you ask?
What did I ask?
Yeah.
No, when I went for the first time, I honestly didn't ask. I just felt, I was just going through a season where you know, and you probably see this as you grow, right? It's like, I get you hustle, you on the job, you work, because when I goals and all of those things you want to do, and by the time you do those things and the money's there, you realize that I'm still not okay. So for me, it was like I wasn't fine, but I couldn't pinpoint why I wasn't fine.
So that's all true, because I've already experienced that. So tell me.
They did. So you go there, they will ask you, maybe the first thing would be like, why are you here? And you have to be honest and say, I don't know. This is how I'm here because I feel like this. I'm achieving the things I wanted to achieve and I'm doing fine, but I don't seem to be finding the satisfaction. And then they'll say things along, I'm not a therapist. I've seen several therapists, but they'll say things like, take us back to your childhood. How was growing up like? So you narrate and then they just start picking to say, do you realize that this could have affected you? Because sometimes we go through things, especially young and in Black communities, we go through things and we just pass through them. You don't realize that that thing stayed in your mind and it now affects how you showed up. So every time you correct, you want to fight because you associate the feeling of being corrected with attack, with rejection, with like saying something, African parents would say things like, Warafa, like something is wrong with you. And those things are in passing, but they affect how you show up. So you end up, as you're working, you can tell us I work with this person very well, but we just had this fight and it started from a small thing and it triggered something. And I think most of us Black people are in survival mode in hustle culture because we want to obviously attain the things we wanted when we were young. But you get to a certain, and I mean, you're saying that you've even gotten to that point. You get to a certain point where it doesn't matter how much money is coming in, no matter how much, even if today you are sitting with like your famous celebrity, it would still not take away whatever's in your heart. And life is going to call you to actually sit and deal with it.
And maybe I should consider therapy, man. Yeah, maybe I should consider. Because I get like a lot of achievements.
Yeah.
Recently, like this year, but yeah, I got a lot of achievements.
Tell us.
No. Yeah. No, I won't. You guys won't see this time. Me.
Why?
Maybe off camera, I'll just tell you. But
okay.
You have people saying, "Yo, you achieved this. Yeah. How does it feel? But I struggle with like in taking achievement.
Yes.
In taking compliments.
Yeah.
I know there are certain. I know the therapist did not comment. That's what. Please don't diagnose me. Especially to TikTok. What do you think about TikTok? So
I have a 4-step formula of.
So I know I struggle with like taking compliments, taking things like, "Yo, you've done so well," and I'm like, yeah, man. I got a choice. I have to.
Yes.
You know, people make it like now. You're like, no, if I was not gonna do this, then what was gonna happen?
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe I should do.
Yeah, and look, it's not a fixing solution. Maybe that's the idea. It's not a solution to fix you. It's continuous.
Yeah.
I do it because, like, for instance, I'm building a business and there's several challenges and I have to show up differently. I'm growing. You're gonna be a husband, be in a long-term relationship. There are certain things that happen in your life that will call for a different version of you or an elevated version of you. And that elevated version of you, there are some versions that might not come out because they are currently being suppressed by certain things that you don't even realize or actually that thing ain't affected, but maybe it was funny then or it was, whatever. So it's a process. But it's a beauty. I enjoy going to therapy.
And then has it like contributed positively into your life?
So much. I show up differently as a mom, as a wife, and as a business person. I learned I don't take things personally anymore. I know my triggers now. Remember the conversation we were talking about, or when somebody says add on to this thing, then that's part of knowing your triggers. You know what?
It's I get to lot of.
This is a trigger, but now you know, and you know how to deal with it. The next time somebody else speaks to you like that, you don't respond the way you used to anymore. It no longer even is a big deal because that part of you has been healed. It's gotten better perspective around, what is it and what causes you to. And sometimes, people are just going through their own thing, or sometimes people are just nasty people, but you don't have to internalize that. So it helps a lot because, and especially as Black people moving into big industries, right? As you grow, you become a decision maker. As you grow, some brands call you into rooms and say, Zile, we want to make this decision and we want your input.
Yeah.
There will be people there who will feel like you don't deserve to be there because maybe hauna masters on. Do you know what I'm saying? And people will show that in a different way. People will say things. I think therapy just helps you be more centered within yourself.
Yeah.
And also just finding yourself in spirituality, and for myself is in Christianity. That helps me stay grounded because you realize there's a bigger vision than the podcast or the fame or the numbers. It's bigger than that, and I always have to remain centered, even when people say what they say, or even when sometimes things don't work out, or I didn't get the deal I thought I was going to close, and
Oh no, that makes sense. Yeah, I should. I hope I 1,000 plus. Like Kishore ki chacha, chow lapa mafan.
Zile unya ka therapy okay.
I'm at 350.
No therapy. Okay, let me. I don't know therapy for 350 South African rands.
Yeah.
Okay, I think invest Mama 1 point.
1 point.
Yes, a session and get a good. And it's like dating. Maybe it would in my experience, it's like you'd go to a first therapist and you're just like, I don't feel very settled. Yes. And then you will then find your person that you can sit with. And like sometimes I don't attend because I've got I don't attend I've got a session with this. I'm not attending there because, list and this is what I'm going through. I'm just going to
unwind.
To unwind. And they ask you, how was your day? What happened this week? Did you journal? And I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm getting more psychological perspective on my thought process. And because now I'm very hyper aware, I can always say, I spoke to this person and they reacted like this. And it made me feel like this. And that was a new feeling. I don't get offended when somebody does this, but why did, and you just learn to deal in motherhood. I get little nyal.
Yeah, no. That also.
Little nyala, I get. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's difficult. It's difficult these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. I get. I think this year one thing I should try has to be that.
I think you should. I definitely think. I think it's going to help you grow within even your personal leadership. I think you're going to be driven by different things, and I think you'll even show up differently in romantic relationships.
Yeah,
when you get.
Yeah, because as a comedian, sometimes
even even more.
We need it more than anyone. Yeah, no, facts. I get that.
So, but at the core of that is an actual person that is dealing with stuff. So I'm gonna check on you that you've gone for therapy this year.
Yeah, no, I will try.
Ne?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the 50. I'm joking. Yeah, 1 point something.
1 point something. Yes. Or even 2 points. Just
yeah. 2 point is too much now. Our 2 point is too much now. Oh, you were saying something?
Uskatia sponsored therapy posts, ne? You must invest in it as well.
Yeah. Can you tell the pop-up ads?
Get your
pop up. You know those therapists that you see on YouTube?
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh, that come and they say, hi. This
my boyfriend did 1, 2, 3.
And then I met the therapist.
Yes.
And they helped me.
Yes.
Get a 1 point.
No, but I want a physical one. I want someone no longer. Yeah, I wouldn't meet on a day-to-day life.
Yes, somebody you don't even know, and possibly somebody older.
Yes.
Somebody older who's also centered in faith, that you can just go to and sit and they can guide you and walk you. Do you have mentors?
Mentors?
Yeah.
The chappies or what?
Zile.
No, I thought maybe like a gum. No, I'm sorry. You know what? I do have mentors. Mentors? No. I don't have mentors. I just have friends. My manager, my friend, is my friend Vanessa.
Yeah.
Who's the person that I tell almost everything. And I have I have 3 friends that I say deep things with, and we'll speak about. I don't think they are my mentors because they do other things besides what I do.
Yeah.
And I have always had the mentality because we are in this industry. Mm-hmm. I've cancelled the thing of the mentor because it's never meet your heroes. So now we are in an industry whereby I would look up to, let me just say Weezy. Weezy is a pop star. I'm a piano artist, DJ. I'm gonna try creative and I want advice. So, they say something else. So I always try to say, you know what? I'm gonna not look up to anyone. Yes, your journey is dope. When it comes to your work, I adore your work ethic, whatever you do but outside that, I feel like people can always give you talent.
Yes.
I feel like talent is something that people can do it, even though I watch soccer, so a person can gain weight or hormone or mutuki fit, but as soon as they have the soccer ball on them, the way they are gonna move and pass the ball, you can tell, this person is talented. So I always try to just take the talent alone and not take the personality thing. So because a person can be different.
Yes.
You can be a good actor and be a horrible person.
Yeah, that's very true. So maybe in this case, the concept of mentorship becomes from, it doesn't even have to be from somebody in your industry.
Yeah.
It could be like a older businessman who just that mentors you on being a successful person.
Yeah.
Because this is somebody you can brain dump and talk about whatever you're going through and need some guidance to say, you know what, I probably signed this contract and now I'm not happy. What can I do? Or how do I deal with a situation like this? But I think it's gonna be very important within your growth journey. But I'm excited to see you grow.
Yeah.
I think you are doing amazing work. I think you're one of the young people we can hold up and say, okay,
Ne?
He's building something.
Yes.
And we can see from the years that there's been so much change and so much development, so much growth. You're not as hectic as you were.
Like, what do you mean? However, what do you mean when I was hectic?
Oh, nearly hectic, Zile.
Rowdy.
Just, yes, like it was a lot. You
Yeah, I
guys
mean,
were-
I'm 26 now, so
you're grown,
yeah.
right? So yeah, you know, it's growth.
Yeah,
maybe that I'm referring to.
Yes.
So just we appreciate you and we fully believe that you're so talented. And
Yeah.
my prayer and my wish for you is that you just continue to rise up with humility and with grace, you know.
Yeah.
How ube in another
realm.
Yeah. Because you've grown so much. So thank you so much for making the time to come chat to me on this podcast.
No, finally. Now I'm so glad I came because it's been like 3 years, eh? That invitation, go Google Meet, it has been there for 3 years. And I'm glad this was a great chat. I think more than you guys, I needed this, you know. Like talking, it's not about making jokes, man. Life is serious. You can drink water and coffee and also do a podcast. I realized today. And yeah, man, I enjoyed this. I feel like this is like I wish that a lot of young people see this, and also please also invite a lot of young people, because one thing I realize about like serious podcasts is that you guys always you want someone who you'll relate easily.
Yes.
You know?
Established.
Yeah, established. Now I'm gonna say words like perpendicular. That's what you want. You know?
And how I will like, you don't even say perpendicular this entire podcast.
Yeah, but again, I'm young. I'm a Gen Z. You know, so you want people by long, but I would like to say, always try to invite young people. Also, you know, and try to see the world go fast. And I feel like as a you might not see it, but mentally you can help a lot. A lot of young people, they can take, especially business wise, because a lot of us, it's not easy managing funds, you know. It's not easy, especially because you're young, you don't have a kid, you don't have anything, and you don't feel like, I should open a business, I should do this, I should do that. But if you can't make them watch it, at least invite them and see. At least have 5 yana.
Yeah.
Or one. If we a plug in out there, I'll be there. I'll call your Seema, your Yanda, and everyone else.
Yeah.
But I think this is a dope establishment.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you, Zile. I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Resonate community, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. It was so lighthearted, so fun. And I think Zile's right. We need to start inviting more people to the podcasts. So he's going to give us his people's contacts and we're going to have them here. So we can chat to them more and just unpack their minds. And I think I've also just learned so much with just engaging with Gen Zs and younger people who are doing amazing, amazing things. So thank you for tuning in and we'll see you guys on our next podcast episode. Goodbye.